The first reason why you shouldn't call or text her on my list today is she won't value your time. My kings, it is natural human nature that when things are handed to us freely, we don't value them. It is something we do. We tend to value the things we work for more than things that are being handed to us free of charge. So that is exactly how it is going to be for any woman, that you are always the one calling and texting her without you getting the same energy, without her reciprocating the calls and texts. Even sometimes you call, she won't pick, she won't reply your text, and you still keep calling, you still keep texting, you keep doing all that work without getting anything in return. That woman will start to not value your time because she feels she gets it free of charge. She knows she doesn't have to do anything to get it. And as such, it will not be something valuable to her. Unlike when you are scarce, when she doesn't really get your attention, when she doesn't get your calls or texts often, she would want to reach out. She would want to know how you're doing. She would try to find a way to put herself in your schedule because she knows you're busy. So any little time you give her will be of value to her. Even if you give her 3 minutes of your time, she would value it. But because you always want to talk to her, you are talking to her for hours. Even when she doesn't want to pick your calls, you keep calling. She doesn't reply your text, you keep texting. Now it is going to become something she's very familiar with, and as such, she will not value it. She knows you're going to call, so there is no need for her to do anything. And sometimes even when you're busy, you still find ways to squeeze out time to talk to her, and even she might be like, oh, when you are done, you can call me back, go do what you're doing, and you'll be like, oh, don't worry. And I'm not saying it's bad to squeeze out time to talk to your partner, but what I'm saying is, if you are the only one doing that, if you're always the one taking time out of your busy schedule to reach out to her, if you're always the one initiating the calls and the text, that is where it becomes wrong, because the woman you're doing that for will begin to not value your time. Like I mentioned before, even if it is your partner already, or a woman you're getting to know, you have to let her do some of the work as well. You have to let her also call you from time to time. Let her bring back the same energy that you're giving her. It is even more easier and more enjoyable when it is coming from both sides. You know, you call her, she calls you. It's not only you that have to do all the calling and texting. So when you notice that you are the only one who has to call a woman, even when you don't call her, she wouldn't even call you, even 2 days, 3 days. Even if she finally calls, she will be calling to complain or ask you why you haven't called her. In such situations, you should immediately stop doing that, because what it is going to lead to is that woman will stop valuing your time because you're always handing it to her free of charge. And when someone else comes along who would not give her that time freely, you would notice that she will tilt towards that person, and you might be wondering, what have you done wrong? You do everything, you call her, you text her, so why would she leave you for somebody else? It is because that person is giving her the opportunity to also strive for their time. So she's going to value it more because she has to put in some work to get that time. But because with you, she doesn't have to do anything, she doesn't have to put in any work to get that time, she will lose value for it. And that is exactly why you shouldn't be the only one calling or texting a woman often. Another reason why you shouldn't call or text her is you become less attractive to her. My kings, when you're the only one always calling and texting a woman, you're going to become less attractive to her. And this is because you're always in her face. You're always the one calling, you're always the one texting, you are readily available for her. Now she's going to get overly familiar with you, and as such, she will not see any reason to put in any work at all. Because you are readily available for her, you will not become scarce, and you know things that are scarce are in high demand. So because you are always there, you are not scarce. So there is no need for her to put in any work. There is no need for her to do anything at all. So she becomes familiar with the fact that you are always there. Now it will even get to a point where she begins to feel entitled to what you're doing, because you're always calling, you're always texting. Now when you don't do it, she feels like you have to do it, because why are you not doing it? You should be doing it. Another thing it also does is it makes her lose the spark. You would notice that in the beginning of the relationship, she used to call, she used to put in some work, but after some time she will stop doing that. You have to ask yourself why. It is simply because you are now the one always doing the work. You do not give her the chance to put in that work, and the moment that happens, now it begins to get less exciting for her, and the moment it becomes less exciting, that is when she begins to lose that attraction for you, because there is really nothing to do. There is really nothing to spice things up for her. Once there is nothing to keep her on her toes, there is nothing to challenge her, there is nothing she needs to do to keep you, now she begins to get less attracted to you. And that is exactly where you start losing that attraction. You start noticing that she doesn't put in any work at all. She doesn't even try no more, because there is no need for her to try. She knows you will call. Even sometimes she can be with her friends and she will boast to them that you will call. Oh, don't worry, I know he'll call me at 12. And she keeps her phone down, and at 12 you will call. And she might even go ahead to say, oh yeah, I know he called, I will not answer. You see, he would text me, and you would immediately text her after calling her and she doesn't pick. That will become a bragging right for her, and at that point in time there is no attraction left in her for you. So if another man comes along who will put her on her toes, who will make her have to do the work to get his attention, she will begin to get attracted to that person. So that is exactly why you shouldn't call or text a woman often. And I'm not saying you shouldn't call or text your woman at all, don't get me wrong, but make sure you are getting back the same energy. Make sure she's also putting in some work. As you are calling and texting her, let her also be doing some from her end. Don't be the only one doing it, and don't overdo it. Another reason why you shouldn't call or text her is because it doesn't make you a high value man. My kings, no high value man would have the time to spend long hours talking to women on phone or texting them, because he knows he has better things to do with his time. He uses that time to work on getting better or work towards his goals and ambitions. And as such, he wouldn't have that time to be spending long hours on phone with women. Again, high value men are well sought after by women, and as such, since they know that they have options, there are women here and there chasing them and looking for their attention, they wouldn't have that time to dedicate all the time they have in the world to one particular woman. And that will actually keep the woman on her toes, because she knows this man has options. Other women are seeking after him. So if I don't do what I can, if I don't also put in the work, I might not end up getting him. I might not be able to get his attention. And as such, she would also do some work to get your attention, which is why you shouldn't be spending long hours talking to a woman on phone, because when you do that, you begin to lose your value. You begin to devaluate yourself, and that is not what you want for yourself. You have to place yourself as a high value man that you are, so that she can also seek after your attention. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't call or text your woman, but make sure that you are getting the same energy from her, and do not spend long hours talking to her, because when you do that, she's going to begin to feel like you don't have better things to do with your time, like I mentioned before. So make sure that you are keeping a balance to it. Let there be a particular level it gets to. Don't overdo it. Call her, but don't overdo it. And also make sure that she's putting in the work from her end. Always remember that things that have high value are highly sought after. So if you place a high value on yourself as a man, that woman would definitely seek after you. So do not be the one always calling, always texting and seeking attention. Stop making yourself look like a needy man, and place value on yourself, so that the woman would also have to put in some work to keep you and get your attention. Another reason why you shouldn't call or text her is she will use you to pass time. My kings, when you call or text a woman too often, she will begin to use you to pass time. And this is because you are always available, readily calling her, readily texting her, even when she doesn't want to talk. And because you've presented yourself as needy, because you've made it known to her that you always want to talk to her, you always want to text her, that way she would only talk to you when she knows she has nothing doing, when she's less busy. She knows, oh, there is someone who is always available for me, that if I talk to him, he will be ready to talk. And because she's not the one who wants to talk, most of the times when you text or call her, you will see her giving you those one answers, because she's not interested. You are the one who is making yourself needy and making it look like you want to talk to her all the time. And as such, when she's talking to you, she'll be talking to you like she's doing you a favor. She'll be talking to you like you're stressing her, because she doesn't really want to talk. But since you are here, let's just do it. So that's when you get those one answers, or maybe make the conversation even more boring because she is not interested in the first place, which is exactly why you shouldn't be calling or texting a woman all the time, especially when you notice that she's not reciprocating that energy to you. If she doesn't call or text you back, please immediately stop calling and texting her too often. In the beginning, it might be nice. Let's say when you're trying to get to know her and you're always the one calling, she might be enjoying it, enjoying that attention. But as time goes on, it's going to begin to get boring for her. She will begin to think you are choking her because you are always in her face. And because it's something that has gone on for a long period of time, she will begin to just feel like you're disturbing her. She will begin to act. That's when you call her, she will not pick. You text her, she will not reply, and you keep on texting. Now she'll begin to even see you as someone who doesn't have anything to do with his time, because if you have something else to do with your time, why are you spending all your time calling and texting me? That is exactly how you're going to make that woman feel. And as such, she would only talk to you when she feels like, when she wants to use you to pass time. And she can also use you to pass time in the sense that she would use you to wait for someone else who would give her the chance and the opportunity to actually work to get his attention. When someone comes along who stresses her, who makes her know that she can't get his attention freely like that, she will begin to tilt towards that person, because that person is making her do some work that will make her also feel like she's investing something in the relationship. But you, on the other hand, who is readily available for her, she would not have that excitement. She will not have that job to also do something to get your attention. And as such, she will just use you to pass time when she wants to talk to someone, or to use you to wait for the person that she would actually work to get his attention. Now, the last reason why you shouldn't call or text her on my list today is it makes you predictable. My kings, being unpredictable is one of the things that keeps the spark on in relationships, especially with women. So when you are predictable, when she knows you're always going to call, she knows the times you will call, she knows the times you will text, now it begins to get less exciting for her. And as such, the relationship will begin to get boring and lose its spark in her sight. And once that begins to happen, you already know you've lost that woman. Even if she's still in that relationship with you, she would just be coping with you for the meantime. She will be with you like she's managing you until she gets someone who will be unpredictable and more exciting. And the moment someone like that comes along, she will definitely move on to that person. That's when you see that you're in a relationship and all of a sudden the woman leaves you and moves on with somebody else, and now you're wondering, what did you do wrong? You were doing everything for her, you are available for her, and you'll be thinking, what at all is this other man doing that is different from what you've been doing for her? Because you feel like you've been doing a whole lot for her. These are some of the reasons why. Because you're always in her space, because you're always calling, you're always texting, you are predictable. There is no excitement, there is no mystery to you, there is nothing new. She can't say, oh, today I don't really know what he's going to do, or what would he bring today, oh, who knows what new thing he's planning, or what new prank he's going to play on me. Because you're always predictable, she knows the times you call, the times you text. If she even knows the number of times you text her, if she doesn't pick your call, at this point the spark is gone, and as such that would make her lose value for you. You become too predictable for her. There will be no excitement in the relationship. She will be looking for a way to move forward to someone else. Some who are bold enough might actually tell you and move on, whilst others will keep you and wait with you till they find the person that will give them that spark back. And as such, you will lose that woman without even knowing why, which is exactly why you shouldn't call or text a woman too often. Especially, again, if you're not getting the same energy from her. If you're the only one doing it all the time, please, my kings, stop it and let her also put in some work. If you are important to her, she should be able to also put in some work to get your attention. So that's it for this video, my kings. These are 5 reasons why you shouldn't call or text a woman. Please do let me know if you found this video interesting and informative as well. Do well to subscribe if you haven't done that already. Turn on the notification bell, like this video, drop a comment down below, share this video with your family and friends, and see you in the next one. Bye.